It's your girl Candy J with another episode of Candyology. Oh my goodness, it's been a week, but so much has happened, guys. How y'all doing out there? You know, talk to me. We're on Facebook Live right now. We're on Power Play Radio Live right now. Send me your comments. Talk to me. Tell me how you are doing. Okay, so listen. It's been a crazy week. So last week I told you guys that I was going to be a part of this self-care summit. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. Fix, align, love, leverage. That is what it was all about. And when I tell you we had some phenomenal people. First of all, shout out to Dia Direct. If you don't know who she is, she was producer on 105.7 for the longest time. And not 105, I'm sorry, with Tom Joyner, guys. But, oh my God, she put this whole thing together. And when I tell you that so many people's lives were touched, we had a lot of women, but we had men there too. And when I say the first panel was about family on fire, and if you ever have watched Marriage Boot Camp, Elizabeth and Jim Carroll, I'm not talking about Marriage Boot Camp right now, the reality show. I'm talking about when Jim and Elizabeth Carroll was on there. When I tell you they are amazing counselors ever. And Elizabeth was on this panel with some other women that had and that's Lady Daria Jacobs and Dia Direct, and I'll tell you about those guys in just a minute. But Elizabeth and the rest of these ladies, these powerful ladies, were talking about domestic violence. You know, guys, this is still October. This is Domestic Violence Month, and just putting the family back together and how do you get through certain things that go through in your families, right? And so Elizabeth and Jim are located here in Dallas, and they have a marriage boot camp and an individual boot camp that is amazing, and that, guys, I get to go to and talk and see how their process is. You know, iron sharpens iron, so, you know, whatever they pour into me, I'll pour back out into you all, and to my clients, of course, because, you know, that's what this is all about. So, had an amazing time listening to them. No dry eye in the room. I mean, boo-hoo crying. If you've ever watched Candyology, you know I'm a survivor, and so domestic violence is near and dear to my heart. And I mean, the lady stories and the strength of these women were phenomenal. But let me tell y'all who set it on fire. I believe I have a picture of Michael Sean. No, I was on the panel for that. That was the happy hour panel, guys. But I believe I have a picture with Michael Sean and the rest of the guys. I'm not sure if I put it up there. I might be wrong. But Michael Sean and these two pastors, and I cannot think of their names to save my life right now, and one other man, and they did Men on Fire. And when I tell you, these men poured their souls, they bared their souls. Michael Sean was talking about his addiction to alcohol and how he almost lost everything and how God just saved him and brought some people into their lives that just blew his mind. And he's been 5 months sober. And then these other two guys were talking about their suicide attempts and their father's murder and having to be the strong person in a world where, you know, men are supposed to be strong and not vulnerable. And oh my good, I mean, they touched me and touched every woman in that room, because it is nothing like men just being vulnerable and telling us really how to deal with them. That's number one. But then being able to connect with us on an emotional level and just be transparent. And they did such a great job, and so I commend them so much for that. But guys, remember I told you I was also there to be on the panel. So that was a deep honor, because there were people like Claudia Jordan, Michael Sean, like I said, Dia Direct. There was Dr. Jess. Oh my goodness. So Claudia did a wonderful panel about social media. and being in this business, and how social media has been tearing people down, and the lies that people tell, but then also the positive things that social media allows. And so, guys, when you're using your social media, oh yes, that was another picture. You can bring it back up. That was me with all of the panelists that I was on the panel with. We had a nutritionist, we had an OBGYN, we had a financial guru, and just another health and wellness person. And then, of course, I was the resident sexologist. I had an amazing time. But back to social media for just a moment. When we talk about people on social media, we give our opinions about things. We can really turn it detrimental to some people, because some people take it very, very seriously. And sometimes I feel like you should keep some of your opinions to yourselves. Other things, it's awesome. I can think of so many different stories that have touched us, and if they hadn't have been on social media, no one would have ever known about it, right? So just use it wisely. But that panel that I was on, it was called The Happiest Hour. And when I say we laughed and talked but got educational, guys, because we talked about the foods that you need to put into your body. We talked about using body safe silicone with your toys, because the toys are porous, and if you're not using body safe silicone, you can be putting bacteria into your body. We talked about connecting with people back with when you're going through menopause. Oh my goodness, that we stayed on that topic for just a little while. So the panel was so educational, and I had a wonderful, wonderful experience. And so I just really want to thank Dia Direct. But then, guys, next week, Daria Jacobs, I'm sorry, it's not next week, it's November 15th, First Wives. First night with the wives. Oh my goodness. First Lady Daria Jacobs is holding this so that we can pour out into the women, right? And not only just women, but wives. You can be an engaged couple, an engaged person as well, and come out to this event. But it's targeting those people that pour out and pour out and pour out and pour out to the men that they uphold, because I'm a PK and I know all about that, right? I know all about the behind the scenes things that happen when you are a preacher's kid, when you're a pastor's wife, the many hats that you have to wear. And so this whole conference is about pouring out back into those women and lifting them up, rather, and empowering them. So I'm so excited to be a part of that as well. I'm just going to talk a little bit about spicing things up in the bedroom for those wives, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Elizabeth Carroll from Marriage Boot Camp. Oh, phenomenal. But, ladies and gentlemen, so tonight I have the pleasure of talking to two of my BK sisters, right? And not only are they my BK sisters, guys, but they are also fellow sexologists. They're going through the program. I'm not sure if they finished yet. We'll find out in just a minute. But they're going through the program to become a certified clinical sexologist just like me. And I'm so very proud of them. But wait, guys, my two sisters, they're married, and their love story is amazing. So I can't wait to share that with you. Their names are Lisa and Lynetta, or Netta, and they're so cute. Look at that picture, y'all. They're just so cute. But when we come back on Power Play Radio Network, we'll be talking with them. So, one moment.
Not just an event, but a lasting memory. We are sure that you'll find something that fits your fancy at affordable prices. We offer pony rides, face painting, balloon twisting, and trackless trains, characters, and so much more. Need a bundle deal? No problem. Give us a call today at 877-PARTY07. Reserve 24 hours a day online or give us a call 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
just to go back and do, because I go back quite often just to look at stuff.
See, I'm watching her office hours all the way from like when she first did the very first office
I go back
hours.
and look at everything, because some of those I'm a part of, some of those I watch after.
I've seen you before I met you in Atlanta. I saw you. I've listened to you talk. I've been on office hours a lot, but I just don't say anything, and I'll just be watching.
Girl, I have to put my 2 cents. I can't help it. And we are back. You are watching Candyology. I am your girl, Candy J, and I have my BK sisters here with me today to share their awesome story. Lisa, why don't you tell them about yourself? Just a little bit, something.
Well, I'm Lisa. I'm 52. I'm from originally from Kirbyville, Texas. I live in Beaumont, Texas now. This is my lovely wife.
Ain't she lovely, y'all?
I love fishing. I love the outdoors.
Girl, tell us what you like to do for real. I cannot stand I can't get into it. My dad tried. He tried.
Fishing?
Yes. I can't do it.
I love it.
I didn't until I met Lisa.
See, love will make you do something.
It'll make you do all kind of stuff. Hey.
That's what this show is about.
How long is this show?
Girl, we got 45 minutes. Then why don't you tell them about you?
Well, I am 53 years old. I have
Sexy 53, huh?
I'm 53. Yes, I am a 53-year-old mother.
Can y'all believe that that's how old they are? 52 and 53.
Yes.
No.
And I am a nurse by trade. Been a nurse for 27 years.
I love my nurses. My mommy's a nurse.
Yes, and I have beautiful grandkids. I was blessed with 2 sets of twin grandkids. So
see, I want that.
Yes, isn't that awesome?
Twins.
Currently, Lisa and I have our own business, and it's called Lynetta and Lisa's Dignified Angels, where we have supervised living homes that we provide living arrangements for individuals with disabilities. And so that's what our living is, and we've been doing that for since 2003.
That is a long time.
Yeah. So that's actually what we do for a living now.
Yes. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
Because we can see that they've been together for a long 2003.
Well, that's when we started our business. We've actually been together for 19 years.
Yes. Yes, Lord. But let's go back.
Okay.
What was life before Lisa and Lynette? Like, what did that look like? What did relationships look like way before that?
You go ahead.
Okay, so for me, before there was a Lisa and Lynetta, I dated, and then I was dating the same guy for about 9 years. 7 years off and on. We'd break up, we'd get back together, break up, get back together. And then we finally got married in 1999. And I'm almost inclined to believe that it was a forced marriage, not with, him forcing it or me. I wanted love so bad. I wanted marriage so bad.
Haven't we all been there?
Yeah, that I just wanted to, let's get it done. My kids are growing up. They were in high school, and I'm thinking, near future, they're going to be leaving me. I've been a mother all my life. I want someone to grow old with. I want someone to, to love. And, I just really wanted love and marriage. And so I got married. And tried to make it work, and I was given 99%, and my ex-husband was given 1%. And I tried to make that work, and I tried to make that work, and I tried to make that work.
How did you try to make it work? What did you do?
What I did was search myself. I was trying to find out what it was that my husband wanted, and I wasn't giving it to him. Why did he need it from other people? What was I doing? And I thought, I always called myself the Edith Bunker off off of All in the Family. You know, Edith Bunker, she never sat down, and she was, oh, Archie, and everything, you know, she was kind of, you know, perfect Patty. And that's the kind of wife I was trying to be. And I thought, you know, maybe it's my looks, maybe it's my weight, maybe it's, you know, I don't know.
Everything that everybody goes through when they're being cheated on or mistreated or you go through all of that emotional stuff.
You do.
And try to figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it's not all you.
I talked to myself in the mirror. I begged, you know, I prayed, and, you know, I just wanted, whatever it was, I wanted to make it right so that my marriage could work. And I had told my husband it would not fail. I said, we're not going to get divorced no matter what. You know, I didn't marry you to get a divorce. Well, he took that for granted. And I was serious, you know, when I went there. But there comes a time that when you've given all that you can give, and you just, you know, there's nothing else because the other person isn't giving back, or the other person doesn't want it as bad as you want it, that you have to let go.
Right.
You know, and so that's what I've done. But with the Lisa and Lynetta thing, that's not where I was going with it. When I decided to let go, it was not going in that direction at all. But,
before you tell us how you got there, let's talk this ride. Tell Lisa, so what did life look like before Lynetta?
Before Lynetta, I was, I just worked a lot. I wasn't looking for love at all. I wasn't your everyday lady or that wanted to find love. I seen what other people had been through, and
yes, Lord,
relationships was not nowhere's on my list. I had my nieces and my nephews, and that's all I needed.
Wow. So you no other relationships at all?
I was in, well, I've had relationships, not long term. I was actually in a relationship when I met Lynetta. Yeah.
Oh, Lynetta!
I was in a relationship when I met Lynetta. Actually, my first relationship with a woman. It was my first time.
Oh, wow.
And so I discovered that, okay, she's not serious about this. And so this is why I don't want relationships, because I can't deal with this. I'm not.
So you had dated men previously?
Yes.
Okay.
I always dated men.
And never married? Nothing.
Never married.
Children?
One son.
Okay. So, but then how long were you with this other lady before?
A year and a half.
Oh, okay. So, year and a half into dating women, and then here come Netta.
okay.
Wait a minute. What happened?
So what happened
What
was, so yeah, we were co-workers, and we were co-workers, and I was her supervisor, and we had to work close together. Well,
wait a minute.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So when you have to work close together, you find you just naturally bond if the personalities click, and we kind of bonded, and so we became friends, beyond the working environment. And so she became my confidant, and then I became her confidant. And then we started, really confiding in each other about our relationships and our happiness. Whereas everybody else looking from the outside in thought I was this happily married, nurse.
Right.
And everybody thought that she and her relationship was, everything was good. But we knew, and we started talking to each other. And it kind of started off as a joke, especially on my part. It started off as a joke because, I grew up that, same-sex relationships or homosexuality was wrong, that it's a sin, you would go to hell, and all that kind of stuff. And so I shocked myself, I guess, because I think that feelings, I'm the first one that actually had some kind of emotions and feelings that I didn't understand. So I did some inquiring with other people, like, why am I feeling this? Why do I want to be on the phone with her?
Because love is love.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I will shout it out from the rooftop. Love, when it's love, you're going to know it's love, and so we kind of just started bonding that way, and then we kind of made an agreement that maybe we would just kind of play around, but we never did. We just, we couldn't do it.
So wait, were you still married at the time?
I was still married, but I had asked my husband to leave. Something that shocked me because I would never have. When I started having these feelings about Lisa that I didn't understand, I saw a change in me, and I was like, what are you doing? I said, the sight of you are, kind of, I don't like seeing you. Can you please leave? And that shocked me. That literally shocked me. And so the first thing I did was call my friend, and I said, I asked him to leave, and he's gone. And she said, it's okay. He'll be back. She said, it's okay. Everything's going to work out. He'll be back. And I said, but the thing about it is, I don't want him back. I don't want him to come back. And so I knew something was going on.
Right.
Still didn't understand it. It took me about 2 years into our relationship to understand that, it was really because I was in love.
So, did you grow up the same way she did?
Yes, my mom was a pastor.
Oh, Lord.
They preacher children, you know what they say?
Preach your children, okay?
All of us. Mine's a pastor, too.
Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. We all heathens, right? Okay. Yeah, that's what they say, anyway.
Yeah, but we some happy heathens.
Sure enough. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we some happy heathens, if that's what we consider, yeah.
So you got into this relationship with one another, right? Did you tell anybody about it?
Well, immediately when, I think I kind of made the decision because I had, teenage kids. One of my thoughts was, what am I going to do to my kids? They're in high school. They'll be, ridiculed, and they'll be taught, and so that was a worry. Then I was a nurse, and then, I just had this certain persona that, my family saw me as, and my friends, and I thought everybody's going to see me different, and so I just took a deep breath and said, you know what, you've tried to make everybody happy, it's your time to be happy. And I just kind of felt different. Again, something came over me. And so I told Lisa, I said, we're going to do this. We're going to give it a shot. And so the day we said that was December the 8th. And so that's our anniversary date. And so I said, December the 8th, we're giving this a shot, and it's my time to be happy, and it's your time to be happy. So we went to work, and we went and told our supervisors. That's the first people we told. We said, Lisa and I are in a relationship. We don't want any confusion at work. We will work different shifts if we have to. We don't, So we tried to, we tried to accommodate everybody.
So wait, were you still a subordinate at this point? Okay, cool. No. Okay.
And so we decided to try to make it work. Psychologically, it's something. It's a lot to go through when you make a complete change in your lifestyle, especially when you think it's wrong.
Talk about that, though.
Okay, and it's when you think it's wrong, when you're brought up, society, family, that stigma that homosexuality is wrong, no matter what, then you have a guilt trip, and that's how I felt guilty. I felt like I was doing something wrong to everybody that was in my life. That's how I felt. But slowly, the shock of Lynetta's gay.
Wait, did anybody actually say that to you?
Oh, nobody said it to me. People would,
but that was your inner voice, right?
People would say things, like, why did she do that? Or, why would she be with the woman? I even had, I think, someone say, but you're so pretty. Why would you? So I guess,
So homosexuality is for ugly people?
It's for ugly people. I thought you knew. So,
but hold on. So at this this point, like during all of this, how were you feeling? Like, what was your thought process?
I was scared. I was nervous. I also worried about her children and my son and parents. Even though I was with
someone else,
I had already been with a woman, but now I'm with a different race. So I can take all of that
we have a couple of
play with everything.
Double whammy.
Yes, we had a double whammy. We did. We had a big time because now we're an interracial couple and we're same-sex couple. So there's a lot of fear, of us in public. There's a lot of fear of where you're gonna go. What everybody's gonna say, and it took Lisa and I. We're together 19 years. Lisa and I are madly in love with each other.
I can tell.
We are. We fall in love with each other every day, and it's awesome. It's awesome feeling.
Can y'all just bless me?
I will. We're gonna give you that. We're gonna send that to you, and that's part of why I'm so passionate about my bedroom candy business and being the sexologist. I'm passionate about it because of my journey, my own personal journey, and the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding.
But then why did I just go biblical in my head? For the lack of knowledge, we will perish, right?
That's right.
So it's a double standard.
Yeah, it's double standard. And so I'm like, and biblically, and because I grew up that it was wrong, I thought, so God wants you to be with someone that will beat you. God wants you to be with someone that you have to cry yourself to sleep every night. God wants someone that pays you no attention and psychologically and emotionally abuses you. That's what God wants. Is that the happiness you're talking about?
And that's something we were talking about last week. Like, domestic violence and domestic abuse doesn't have to be physical. It can be psychological.
Oh, man. I beat myself up.
Spiritual, emotional, all kinds of things.
And then you have to hide. You go to work, and you smile. And, everything is okay. Your children come home from school, and you smile.
I was the queen of.
Yes, you smile. You don't.
Hey, how you doing? And I'm like, oh my God, can I just kill myself today?
Yeah. Family,
yes.
You got to smile. Friends, parties, you have to smile, and you want everybody to think it's the perfect match. But I learned myself since Lisa and I. I've learned who I am. I've learned so much about me that I didn't know.
Right.
And you can learn yourself when you have someone that will allow you to be yourself.
So let me ask you guys this. So you talked about a little bit about the interracial stuff, right? So have you guys had anybody, try to talk, do hate crimes, any of those type of things, just speak to you crazy, anything of those type of things?
I think we have been very lucky.
Thank God.
We have been blessed not to.
We've not encountered it, not face to face. But let me tell you, there is a fear. And I guess it's okay for me to say, but we each have firearms on each side of our bed. We have firearms in our cars. When we go out to eat, we sit and we have a good time. When we go in public, we have a good time. But there's always that fear that somebody's following us home.
You shouldn't have to live like that.
You shouldn't have to live that way, but realistically, you've got to, be vigilant. And so we're always vigilant, and we always have that in our mind when we go to camping, and we're in the woods, it's always a constant reminder, number one, same sex, number two, you're interracial,
So how did your parents and your kids feel about it? How did those conversations go?
You want to go first? Let me
Go ahead.
because I'm doing a lot of talking. I'm a talker. Lisa,
and I'm trying to pull it out of Lisa.
Now let me tell you, she's not a talker in public, but at home, she talks.
That's usually how most.
Yeah, we always have something to talk about. As far as when we decided that this is what we're going to do, I said the ultimate people that needed to know that would give me a chance to take a breath is my children. I needed to let my children know. Again, my son was a senior and my daughter was in, ninth grade. And so I, sat down and I told them, they knew who Lisa was. They knew she was a friend. And I was really afraid, of how they were going to take that, or if they were going to reject me, or, And neither one of them said anything at the moment. But I can recall going, get in the tub and crying. And I started crying after I told them. And my daughter came and she sat in the restroom with me. And she, asked me if I was okay. And I said, yeah. And she told me it was okay. And so that was like a weight off my shoulders.
Right.
She said it was okay. Yeah. They, absolutely for 19 years have always respected Lisa. Never ever disrespected Lisa in any
She
type of way.
raised your kids right too.
Yes, they never disrespected her, and they love her, and today they love her. And once Lisa and I got married, my daughter calls her Mama Daddy just for. No, she says she calls her Mama Daddy. So
That's fine.
Yeah. So,
Whatever you need to call.
and after I told my kids, right before Thanksgiving, I think it was the Thanksgiving Eve, I called my mom, and she knew Lisa, also as a friend, and I told her, I said, that I was going to be in a relationship with Lisa, and her words to me, her exact words to me was, "Go for it."
Oh,
So yeah,
love it.
yeah. So
Understanding.
Yeah.
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 That's all you really
But
want.
we do have those that are upset, was upset, and you have those that true colors came out, and, things like that. But once my children and my mom knew, I was okay.
That's all that really mattered. What about your parents?
I think my really own concern was, my biggest concern was my best friend. That's who I worried about. And I when I did tell her, she's like, "Oh, girl, I've been knowing." And so I was like, "How do you know?" And then my parents, they, of course, wasn't for it, but didn't say anything to me against it.
So they just
Not
kind
to our
of
faces anyway.
right.
Not to our faces. Oh, I know that there was some stuff going on behind some walls, but no one has actually came out and like disrespected us, to our face, and said anything to us.
And that's so perfect, because you know how many people wish that,
Yes.
how many stories that I've heard that went so awry.
Oh, I know.
I know.
It's
And
sad.
it's terrible.
It is. It's sad, and that's part of again, part of my passion is I beat myself up. Even the first 2 years of our relationship, I kept saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" To myself. I'm so glad to get past that stage, Candy.
So let me ask y'all this, okay? So both of y'all came into this basically without really knowing that you were lesbian, pretty much. What changed as far, because I know you said you were in a sexless relationship at some point. So how did the sex change? How did that?
Let me tell you, we got a whole bunch of people watching right now, because we encouraged everybody to watch, and I said, but be careful. Be careful. It is a sexuality show, and I don't know, and we wasn't prepped. I don't know.
I need to know some things.
So let me tell you. I thought, sex was great, when I was having sex with men. And even with my ex-husband, I thought sex was great. I never knew that I was not having an orgasm.
Shut the front door, the back, and the side.
Yeah, right now, like if I told Lisa the other day, I said if I could line them all up, every one of them that I've had, I'd put their private parts on the line, and I just smash them one at a time. Yeah, that's what I would do. I I was so worried about satisfying them, and I really didn't realize that I wasn't being satisfied. I thought I was, but I really wasn't.
My God.
And so, Lisa introduced me to a couple of things that I had not experienced. I had never, ever.
But wait, hold on. But Lisa, you had just had only 1 year with somebody before her. So what was you teaching over there, girl? Where did you learn all your tricks?
Honestly, I don't know. It just like it came natural. It just came natural because the girl that I was with before, she would always say, "I know you're lying. This is not your first time."
Because she was good.
It was my first time, so I never. Well, you didn't have Google back then.
Right.
I never was into the dirty movies or anything. It just came natural to me.
Yeah. But she introduced me to toys. When I say introduction, so she introduced me to toys, and so that was the first time that I had ever had an experience with a toy. And then
what type of toy?
A bullet, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
just a bullet.
Just a bullet.
Okay.
That's how it started, was with the bullet. And then, the bullet went from, us looking for other things, for, maybe dildos and things like that. Well, I really, again, something in my head started spinning, hey, is this what I've been missing out on, blah, blah, blah. And we had a fun party. And so we did a fun party, and then I'm looking at all this stuff that I had never, encountered or seen before. And, of course, we started, buying and purchasing and trying different things. And then this is where I say I started learning me. There were things that was in me that I wanted to try that I would have never thought, that I like. Things that my husband and I didn't do, or no man and I ever did. Yeah.
So let's be specific. So what would be your favorite thing to do with your wife? Either or. Answer the question.
What would be my
favorite thing?
My favorite, you're talking about sex, right? It wasn't prep.
I know. I do that on purpose. Because I just want authenticity.
Okay. A lot of people fixing to get shocked.
Girl, go for it.
I think my favorite thing is fisting.
Oh!
That's gonna be my favorite.
Yes! Okay, so I'm not down for the fisting. However...
Neither is Lisa.
But I've heard so many stories about people just loving it.
Well, I found that there's a kink in me, that I did not realize, and then I started, finding my inner kink, and it's nothing. I always tell people it's nothing I wouldn't try once. I'll try it once. I might not like it, so I'll try it twice.
Only thing you can do is knife play.
No, we don't do any weapons. Anything that's gonna, no bloodshed.
Right.
I always say, even at my parties, try it. I didn't like that. Well, try it again, because different things affect you at different times. It could be hormones. It could be, stress. It could be medicines. It could be different things. So
shoot, it could just be your mood.
Yeah, your mood, and you try it again. The third time is a charm. If you don't like it the third time, it's not for you. Well,
so you're not with Tank with the suck a dick twice and.
Oh, see, I haven't even gotten into it. I've been watching all this stuff, but I don't know what's going on with Tank.
So Tank.
Rachel did Dr. Rachel has something that she on Instagram.
I watched it too.
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't yet to go live to comment on it yet.
Well,
but Tank was talking about he was actually joking with somebody else, but he was trying to make a point. Tank was like, "Oh, well, if you try sucking a dick twice and you don't like the taste of it or whatever, then that'll make you gay." And so many people have come after him, like, "Yes, that makes you gay," and da da da. I'm like, it's sexual fluidity. So I could try eating pussy once, and I didn't like it, and then go move on. That doesn't make me gay, but I'm bisexual. But I'm just saying.
Right, sex is an art. you know, it's an art, and we're all born sexual beings, you know, whether we want to admit it or not, because Lisa was on the verge of asexual, if if I can say that. That was nothing.
Tell the people what asexual is, though.
Asexual is no sex, not interested, don't want it, don't have the desire for it. And when I got with Lisa, I said, I like to watch porn, and she was like, I never watched porn. And so she had never watched
Lisa,
porn.
You ain't never watched porn?
No.
Oh, be still my heart. I like porn virgins.
Yeah. So, we kind of, started, watching some porn, and, she wasn't into it at first, but then, slowly she could see, and, then, if you see stuff on porn, I know a lot of it is for the camera, but it does pique your interest. And then I read a lot. I read a lot of erotica and things like that. And so there were different things that I was like, I wonder how that feels. I wonder how that works,
And try it.
Especially bondage.
Oh
my
yes.
goodness. I love me some
I couldn't
bondage.
get into it at first, and then it took the right person.
Oh
yeah.
I was going to say, like she was saying about the porn, I think it's not because I started getting into it, is because I was with the right person.
Right, exactly. Oh, so what's the favorite thing that you like to do? I mean, is the fisting the thing? But
It really is.
Oh,
Yes.
it's the reaction.
It's the reaction. It's the feeling you get.
It's so personal.
It's personal.
It's very emotional. It's not something you just can do.
Right.
It's an emotional part of sex. It really is.
That's probably why I didn't like, because I wasn't connected to that person.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, there has to
Something
be a
you
connection.
just-
Yeah.
of course, I've never tried it with anyone else, but I don't think that's something you could just do with anybody.
Yeah.
Right, I don't think so
And
either.
it's an awesome feeling. It's it's just a connection. It takes you. It's another level. It takes you to another level.
So because I know our time is winding up really fast. It's already 8:48, guys. But talk to me about your business, because I know that's about to tie into your sexuality coaching, right?
Right. Okay. So I did parties for another company for 12 years, and then I've always known who Candy Burris is, and but my daughter's madly in love with Candy, and when she had her babies, we had to watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like today, I don't watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I catch it on the reunion stuff, and then I go back and watch them all.
I don't watch it, but when she had twins, and we were there helping her, and she watched it, and so that we had to watch it. But then afterwards, she was telling me about Candy having her own sex line, toy line, and so I did my research and did a little research, and I thought, wow, okay. The more I researched, now when I did it before, I did it for fun. And I did it almost as a rebellious soul because of what I didn't get in my marriage, and I was able to be free to be me. Lisa lets me be me. I can be whoever I am. She does. Our personalities are so different, but I can be me. And so when I got into the candy and the bedroom candy boutique, and then I saw the education part of it, that really said, okay, a lot.
See, that's what drew me.
That's what drew me, the education part. So when I started studying, and when I became a consultant, and I started looking into the resource center, and I started learning all the did you knows, things that I thought I knew and didn't, that really got me. And then my emotions took over, and I thought I was so ignorant to so many different things.
Right.
I want to help somebody else.
Right.
I'd like to save that marriage that I lost. I'd like to save the next person's. I'd like to educate people that think being with, the same sex is wrong, or being with whoever is wrong.
Right.
Being in touch with your sexuality, knowing what you want. So, all of that I started getting so serious. Every day it was more of bedroom candy on my mind, so like every day. day is bedroom candy. And
welcome to my world.
Yes, every day is bedroom candy. And then, of course, during, as a consultant, I saw where Dr. Rachel, there was the Dr. Rachel Institute. And I thought, oh my goodness, after I looked into that, I can do that. And I thought, I'm too old to go back to school. But I'm not.
No, you're never too old.
When I realized that I could do this online and I could do it at my own pace, I jumped at it. I said, Lisa, I want to do this. I want to do this. And everything I say I want to do, she says, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Such a supportive wife.
Such a supporter. And so I'm eager to graduate. It's getting closer and closer. It's right there.
Right.
And I'm so excited. And so I want to just, educate people and empower people, men and women alike, that, it's okay. Whatever you feel sexually, it's okay.
And so, just listening to you guys about your business, I would think that would be an easy niche to go into.
Yes.
With people with disabilities.
Yeah, we've had to deal with a few things with some of our individuals because as a nurse, I worked with them, and I did do a little teaching on sex education, but not in depth because there's a fine line, with where the state is concerned. But
I understand.
To tell you the truth, while we were at convention in August, Dr. Rachel was so enthralled with Lisa and I, and she was just really, when I told her we were, together for 19 years, blah, 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 she said, do you know lesbian relationships are in trouble? She said, they are really in trouble, and you need to make this your niche. So it's like I got so many out there, Candy. I don't know.
Oh, I have multiples.
Yeah.
I mean, because when I started to go through it, I realized that as a former teacher that I'm all about education. So 13 to 21 for me is my niche for this one, part of the niche for my business.
Right.
Because there's so many that don't know anything about their bodies and they're already doing stuff. I was a middle school teacher. Do you know all the things that I saw of kids just giving fellatio and cunnilingus and going back in the back, just doing all kinds of things for 25. I mean, there was so much going on. So as a preacher's kid, we get told, close your legs, don't do anything, and then don't do anything till marriage. Well, then what happens between that time frame of you exploring your sexuality? There's so much happening with your body.
So much.
And then you get to, I'm just supposed to do this when I'm married.
Mom, and I was a teen mom, and I had sex with my boyfriend because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. He was a couple of years older than me in high school, and Mama didn't tell me when I went to prom, don't you get that boy now, don't you do it. She didn't say none of that, and I wasn't taught anything as far as sex is concerned.
And no safety, nothing.
Nothing.
And so that's my heart.
It's my time to give back, and I want to give back in that area, and so that's why that's how my when I'm certified, I'm going to educate. I plan to educate. I plan to do whatever I can to save some relationships.
And know that there is nothing wrong with having multiple niches. Because I can see y'all doing things together, separate, all kinds of things.
It's like this right here. This is like. Wow, we just keep saying to each other, wow, on the drive here yesterday, because we had the bingo on Friday night, and nothing makes me feel better than someone saying they learned something.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. In between calling the numbers, I would say, did you know, blah, 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 and then I said, did y'all know that, or, already, or is this something, I didn't know that, and then for somebody to call me or text me and say they didn't know something, and I taught them something, hey.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what my favorite one is to throw out? Did you know you had 8,000 nerve endings? I love throwing that out because it blows somebody's mind all the time. And I'm like, it's the only part of the female anatomy that was just made for pleasure. Just made for pleasure. And they were like looking at me like, wait,
I say, women, do you know how powerful you are? Do you know when someone says you get on my nerves? Say, you just don't know how many I got.
Right. You want 8,000 to get on? Because I can let you do that. So, this wouldn't be my show without throwing a little bit of some bedroom candy in there. But I don't know if Mr. Don is listening over there. because I wanted to quickly talk about Womanizer and the starlet that just came out. Okay, so listen. You know, at convention they gave us our... That's why I didn't bring one in, because, you know, it has been used. I hadn't bought the new ones yet. But you know, they gave that to us. And I went and I was like, this thing does not work, because I've had 2 back surgeries, so my nerve endings a little bit longer, right? It takes a little bit longer, and I was impatient. And I was like, okay, we'll worry about this later. Right. But baby, later on.
I didn't know that I hadn't been on Facebook to see that it had been released. It's here, so I didn't get to announce it Friday night. But I cannot wait. I'm giving. You know, it's gonna go out of stock real fast.
I know.
But let me tell you a little secret. We had a womanizer already, but it was from a different company, and we've been having our womanizer for about 5 years. But that's an older one. So the Womanizer Pro, I cannot wait. I actually gave the Womanizer, the one that they gave us at convention, because I knew what it was about. I gave it. I gave each one. We each got one as consultants, and so we gave them as gifts.
Yes.
When I did my what was the movie?
Hustlers
movie event. I put that in as one of a game, and it was a winner.
Absolutely.
Yes, that Womanizer. Ooh, y'all, the Womanizer.
I was trying to show them a picture of the Womanizer, but I don't think Mr. Don is paying attention to attention. It's waterproof.
It is waterproof.
I believe that on the Starlet it has 4 settings, and on the Pro I want to say it has 7.
It has
or
7.
8.
Yes,
I can't remember right now, but I know that on we also got the WeVibe, the new WeVibe that came out as well, but that one's battery operated.
Okay, yeah.
So it's at a smaller price point.
Right. Oh yeah, it's the 30%.
It's $59.
Well, and it's actually, it's not. You're not talking about the. Is it the WeVibe or is the wearable? You know, we have the wearable.
Both of them are wearables.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about Groove?
Insertable.
Yeah, no. So WeVibe.
Yeah. So I didn't know that was released yet. We've been waiting. I know October was almost over.
And see, on WeVibe, the battery one, it's only a year warranty on that one, and it's a 2-year warranty on our regular one.
Yeah, so 2-year warranty. You cannot go to any toy store and get.
Right. Mr. Don, can you bring up the Starlet for me, the Womanizer slide for me real quick? So, yes, the Starlet 2 has just came out, and you see it says a fantastic clitoral vibrator for experienced vibe users or for beginners. Let me just tell you, it will change your life. Change your life. Starlet 2 and the Pro. I think I'm more prone to Pro because, again, I said back issues, right?
Air technology.
Pleasure air. It's not going to suck on you like some of those other toys, and I'm very leery of all of those type ones that suck on you. You know, I need all of that.
All 8,000 of them. Yeah, but that new the Pleasure Air technology, it's amazing because like the first time I used it, I was like, you know, this cannot be happening in 30 seconds. I know it's not over. 30 seconds. I know not. So, yeah, you're going to have to.
Last little thing that I wanted to ask you about. So, you know, becoming who you guys were, right? Before, you didn't know nothing about being a lesbian, right? And now you're engrossed into, I call it the alphabet community, the LGBTQ community, and there's actually some more. There's some more, but I'm gonna stop there. Have you seen yourselves as advocates for?
I would be a strong. I do believe that we are advocates. We offer ourselves as mentors. You know, when we meet someone, a young person that, you're not even just a young person, just someone that's new in the relationship or someone that's trying, or even someone that's been in a relationship for years and it's just not,
right.
Yeah, we offer to mentor.
Yes.
Because what we have is genuine.
It is.
It really is. if every day
And
you
last
have a
longer than
crush,
some of the regular heterosexual
that's
marriages.
right.
Hello?
That's right. I
Come
told her
on.
today at the hotel room, I said, I have a crush on you. I said, take me back to, 19 years ago when I had the crush on her and I didn't know it was a crush.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just every day. Every
Right.
day. And so we accepted your invitation because we want people to know that it can be real and it can happen. You can have it. You
Right.
really can.
And guys, I
It
have
don't
to...
have to be. It doesn't have to be a same-sex relationship.
That's right.
And I have to start wrapping up. Next week, guys, I am bringing on, her name is Heavenly. She is a BBW model fashionista, and she wants everybody to know it's Scorpio season, okay? But I'm also involved in her event on November 9th. She's doing a lingerie party slash kind of fashion show for her birthday. And so she's going to come on here and talk a little bit about BBW lovers and fashion in that industry and those relationships that you build with that industry. Because BBWs love us. Oh, Lord Jesus. Let me just tell you. But we don't have time. Guys, this has been an awesome show. I'm so glad you guys came out to talk to me. Yes, and I can't wait when you finish too, so we have some more things to talk about. Bring you on back. But guys, you have been watching Candyology. My name is Candy J, and I'm wishing you love-filled days and orgasmic nights. Have a great evening.